It's important to know that your higher self, your soul, your essence, okay, it is the aspect of you that is expansive, that is limitless, that is desiring evolution, okay? Whereas your ego or current identity really cares about safety, it really cares about comfort, it really wants to keep things the same. Welcome back to the Shadow Priestess Embodied. I'm your host, Kaylin Rakowski, and thank you for joining me today for another deep dive and exploration into your inner world, into your body, the shadow realms, where we will begin to explore some of these esoteric principles and really begin to drop them down into modern day application and embodiment. This is a sacred place where you can begin to truly meet yourself, meet your medicine, and to meet your magic. This is a place of remembrance. Take a deep breath and let's begin. All right, welcome back to the Shadow Priestess Embodied. I'm so excited to have you guys back today and joining me for another deep dive. And today, what I wanted to bring to all of you is the number one thing that truly stops us from being all of ourselves, that unique spark of divinity, our essence, okay, our authenticity, and that thing that literally makes us freeze and hesitate to take the aligned action and follow through on those desires, those pullings in our soul, those stirrings in your heart. And if I had to break it down into one word, one frequency, it would be fear. It is our relationship with fear. And before we dive deep into this today, I think it's really important to start here that your fear is literally connected to your ego, okay? It is the human aspect of you that you agreed to have when you came here and incarnated on earth to keep you safe, okay? It is the part of us that limits us, right? That constricts us in some way. And until you really evolve the ego or align the ego, you're going to continue to run up against these roadblocks and these bumps that will make you stop until you begin to change your relationship with it. Okay. So I want to start this episode and just really make you understand what the ego really is. Okay. Your ego is the part of you that has three jobs: to keep you safe, to keep you the same, and to keep you from experiencing the pain from the past, okay? Your ego really loves sameness, comfort, and safety. So whenever you find yourself desiring to stay in these realms, to stay where it's safe, knowing that you are operating then from your ego. Okay. So, this whole idea of killing the ego or let's be fearless, right? Like we hear that stuff all the time. Well, sis, honestly, that's not really how this works because as much as people try in this new age spiritual community to tell you there's ego death and la la la, that's not true. But what we can begin to do is to evolve and align our ego with our higher selves or with the identity or that next level of expansion that we are desiring to call in. So the first thing to understand is that like your fear is not necessarily a bad thing. To me, our fears are showing us where our higher self, where our soul is desiring to expand. It's showing you that next edge, that next evolution that your higher self is trying to guide you to. Okay. The fear is almost like a signpost or a flag being waved that's saying, hey, this thing right here, that thing that's grabbing you by the boo-boo a little bit, that's making your leg shake, that's making your tummy flip, this is that next experience, opportunity, obstacle that you are being invited to lean into in order to become and receive the thing that you are desiring to call in. Now, the only reason that you are experiencing the fear or those feelings of unsafety, or it feels threatening to your current identity or ego, is because it's unpracticed and it's unfamiliar to your body, to your nervous system, right? To your current identity that you are operating in. And anything that is unknown to our ego is automatically threatening, right? Again, like I said, it likes safety, it likes sameness, and it likes comfort. So when we are coming up into these edges of our evolution, when we are desiring to expand, all of that is unknown territory, which sends our ego into high drive, right? It goes into that fight, flight, freeze, which automatically will boost you or kick you back into your subconscious programming, back into your comfort, back into your safety, which is nowhere close to where the expansion exists or where that next phase of evolution can be embodied. It's important to know that your higher self, your soul, your essence, okay, it is the aspect of you that is expansive, that is limitless, that is desiring evolution, okay? Whereas your ego or current identity really cares about safety. It really cares about comfort. It really wants to keep things the same. So you can see how this push, pull, and tug of war with our energy gets created. And it's kind of slightly nuanced because even if your current experience of reality is undesirable, is unpleasurable, to your ego, that still feels better. And that's what it will choose over the unknown, over your expansion, over your desires every single time. And that is purely because it is known. I know what's going to happen here. Well, let me just say, it thinks it knows, right? It believes that if I stay at this job, if I stay in this relationship, if I continue to show up as this identity, this way of being, etc., that I know what the outcome is going to be. It's almost a way that our ego believes that it's controlling reality. Okay? But even in that, it's a complete illusion. This sense of sameness, this sense of safety is completely made up. Okay, now don't go and like have your head explode as I'm saying this, but hear me out for a second. Your whole perception of reality, of your comfort zone, of staying the same is absolutely bullshit. And this is because the universe is always expanding and evolving or shrinking and destroying. Nothing ever stays the same. Okay, whoa, wait a minute. We're getting somewhere. And even in your perceived comfort zone, even in your perceived little safety blanket, the safety is not guaranteed. The sameness is not guaranteed. You know, I'm sitting here recording this episode and my roof could fucking fall in on me, right? I have no idea. But it's this false illusion that our ego creates, or we would literally be freaking out all of the time. Okay. So now having this awareness moving forward that it is an absolute illusion, why would you not say fuck yes to your desires? Why would you not take action on those things that you are deeply desiring to create, to experience, to become? So, safety is an illusion. Staying the same isn't an option. And the fear you're experiencing is simply because you are expanding and evolving out of your current comfort zone. It is showing you an area where your higher self is desiring to expand. And now, when you have this awareness, you can then begin to change your relationship with fear and actually using fear as an ally to co-create a life beyond your wildest dreams and one that's actually in energetic alignment. And another layer to this is as you begin to change your relationship with the fear, you also allow yourself to fully experience and explore the fear. Okay, what you are making the fear mean, what you are truly afraid of, what are the stories, what are the thoughts, what are the patterns, etc. And this is when you have awareness, choice, and power to actually implement and create change. This is when you step into your power as a creator. Now, I know what I'm sharing seems simple, okay? But just because something is simple doesn't mean that it isn't profound. And I'm also acknowledging that just because it is simple doesn't mean that it's easy to implement and embody. Okay. But when you really can draw awareness to what is happening in the body, okay, then you really begin to have choice. This is when you can choose something different and get out of that subconscious looping and patterning that keeps you living the same day, the same week, the same month, the same year over and over and over. And this is why I highly suggest working with a body based coach or practitioner or someone in somatics, or just you beginning to cultivate a deeper relationship with your body and the innate wisdom, the signals, the intuition that lies for you when you can really drop out of leading from the mind and begin leading from the heart, leading from the womb. Okay. It's a very different way of being because here we're really working from the bottom up, where the body is leading the way and the mind is secondary. Okay. Not saying that mindset work isn't important, because it can be extremely beneficial. But if you do not address the root cause or really drop into the body, then it's like you're constantly just snipping a weed, but not uprooting the root, if that makes sense. And this is why no matter what you consciously desire, if your subconscious patterning, if your nervous system isn't on board with that, your subconscious is going to win over and over and over again. So this is why it is so important to be cultivating these practices with your body, to begin noticing, okay, what's here? What's happening? What am I feeling? What sensations are present? And just allowing yourself to be fully immersed in whatever your body is trying to communicate with you versus trying to repress it, versus trying to, bypass it and pretend that it's not there, to push forward and just seeing like what's here. Maybe your body has a message for you and you can ask it, is there something I need to know? Is there something you want to say? And more times than not, you would be amazing if you could just take a few minutes to slow down and to go within, that you always have the answers. We're always wondering, what's blocking us? What's my next step? But we never slow down and really connect with that innate intelligence, that wisdom that is us, to begin to hear the answers. We always think it's something external that we have to seek. We always think that somebody else has that magic key that's going to unlock everything for us. And spoiler alert, the only person who holds the keys are you. The only person who knows what is truly in alignment for you, what is right for you, what is that next step for you, is you. But if you're so busy living from the head and living in the external world, you're never going to be able to connect with your roadmap, with your own divine blueprint that was divinely ordained before birth for you. Now, the only way that you will ever be able to access that or to embody that is through leaning into your fear, is through leaning into your discomforts, allowing yourself to be fully immersed and experience the fear and still choosing to take that aligned action anyway. Okay. So you have to understand that the doorway into everything that you are desiring is through leaning into everything that you resist. It is through leaning into those discomforts. And it's not that you have to fix or work on the fear. I want you to understand that the fear naturally will begin to fall away and dissolve as you begin to honor alignment, as you begin to step into your sovereignty and your power as a creator, where instead of seeing the fear as a signal to pull back, to retract, to retreat, that you use this as a signal to lean the fuck in. That when you feel the fear, you also start to get excited because you know that there is something on the other side, that there is a next level of expansion, of embodiment, of depth, of magic that is literally waiting for you. But it's you changing your relationship with the fear, what you're making it mean. And as you begin to do this, you really begin to change your relationship with reality. You really begin to let go of leading with the mind, leading with the ego, and begin to lead with the body, to begin to live a life that is truly spirit led and one that is in energetic alignment with your essence, with your higher self, with your soul. You can absolutely still experience massive amounts of fear and manifest and create a life beyond your wildest dreams. It's just about you shifting what that fear means or gets to create in your life, and how you begin to work with the fear, how you begin to explore the fear. Okay. And I want you to really think about today, if you know now that fear isn't a bad thing, that the fear is completely normal, that the fear is showing us when we're coming up against these hard edges or these hard truths of who we believed ourselves to be and what needs to fall away in order to meet more of ourselves, then how deep into your fear would you allow yourself to go? How much fear would you allow yourself to embody and still choose to do the thing anyway? Okay. This is your invitation to lean the fuck in to whatever that thing is that you're absolutely terrified about, that your soul keeps tapping you on the shoulder, telling you that there's more, asking you to lean in. This is your invitation to fully explore and to meet your fear. Thank you so much for joining me today for another juicy episode of Shadow Priestess Embodied. I absolutely love diving in and having these conversations with you all. If this is an episode that you found intriguing, that you found some nuggets in, please share it with a friend and be sure to subscribe and follow me so you can be present for all of the upcoming transmissions, activations, and downloads that I'll be bringing to our community. Have an absolutely magical day, and I'll see you soon.